Once you've placed objects in your scene and moved them with precision, you can measure the relationships between these objects with precision using the helper tools, or the helper objects. These can be found under the Create panel and under the Helper button, which looks like a little tape measure. When I click on this, I can see the 6 different object types under the helper objects. There are the dummy objects, which we can use as a temporary reference point. We can use the grid object to create a temporary grid reference point, or a temporary reference grid. We can use the point helper object to place a temporary reference point in a scene. We can use the tape measure object to physically measure the distances between objects. So I can click and drag, and you can see under the parameters, it's telling me the length between those two objects. I can also just click on the specify length once I've created the measuring tape, and I can specify the length that I want to meet. So say I want my sphere to be 57.5 units. I can specify the length here with my helper object, use the move tool, and physically move my sphere to the appropriate distance. Other helper objects are the protractor, so I can place the protractor at the corner of my box, and then I can select the first object to measure an angle to, for example the sphere, and then I can select the second object, for example this purple box. It now tells me that the angle between those two objects is 102 degrees. I can use this tool to measure the distances between objects. Finally, the last helper object is the compass object. The compass object lets me place a compass rose in any given view. For example, in the top view, I can place a compass rose to show me where north, west, east, and south are. I can do the same for the front view, and for the left view, and for the perspective view. In summary, helper objects help you determine the relationship spatially between your objects.